right, welcome once again. Good morning, and we're saying Happy New Day to everyone who is watching us and people who are listening to us all over Nigeria. You're welcome once again to another very interesting episode of your show. This is Crossfire, and I have with me in the studio a very interesting gentleman who will be engaging in the course of time, and it promised to be a very robust time on the show today. But as usual, I have with me, coordinating this show, my co-anchor, Barrister Ishioma Againe.
Good morning, Nigeria. I'm very fine. Good morning, Nigeria.
I hope you're not feeling the heat of the scarcity.
Of course I am. I'm in Nigerian. I mean, a whole lot of people. I feel so much for school children who have to either sit back at home or they have to trek to school. And I feel so bad for, breadwinners who have no choice than to sit at home because they can't move around.
Anyway,
just to make
I actually was I was actually thinking that really and truly this could this could be a panic buy, but interestingly, waking up today, seeing how yesterday went, and waking up today and realizing that still there are no recourse to free buying of petrol.
Remember
products,
our guest yesterday told us
stations
within 24 hours.
Anyway,
he quoted,
that's just
he quoted someone, and although he quoted someone of such high repute, and then he said, based on the person's office, the person said and assured Nigerians that within 24 hours.
Okay, the 24 hours is, we don't know exactly where to count.
From the time he made that statement, it means the statement was already made before he came on our show to make the statement.
Okay,
so
I don't
approximately, let's say in the next
1 hour,
30 minutes, within the next 30 minutes, that will be 24 hours.
Okay.
And yet the situation is still not solved.
We have a reverend gentleman in our midst. I've experienced this guy before. He's loaded, and I believe very strongly that he's abreast of the happenings in the society. Our show today will not be different from what we have been addressing, and that's the state of the nation. I will be looking at it vis-a-vis the postponement, the 6 weeks postponement of the elections. And we have the new dates at the 28th of March for the presidential election, and we have the April the 11th for both the gubernatorial and the House of Assembly elections. And for me, I think and I believe, I want to believe, let me not think, that Nigerians are actually waiting to see what the atmosphere is going to be like as we approach the polls. I have with me, to have a very robust discussion in the studio. This man, I have spoken with him before, is a friend, and I know it's he's a very balanced person. Welcome with us in the studio, Mr. Terence Oyejekwe.
Mr. Terence Onyejiako.
Onyejiako.
Precisely, Sir Terence.
Sir Terence, okay.
Everybody, sir, and you welcome to the show.
I am in between Crossfire. So I'm being Crossfire, but it's been always my pleasure to be here.
You're welcome.
Dapo, I enjoy you. Ishioma, I think you're my sister, but at times your punches are not expected.
Below the belt.
But I will accept it as it is.
It's for Nigerians anyway, to educate them.
Nigerians. These two are representing you, punching me. But I am defending you because I'm one of you. Have a wonderful time.
Exactly. Our interest is extremely pro-Nigerian. And so what we address on this show is just what you're thinking, what you're bothered about, and those things that you have you need answers to. And that's why all we do on the show is to just throw light, to educate. Even sometimes it becomes very controversial, but we try to create a balance on the show. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. Now, predominantly there's been a situation in the country and people are getting agitated as usual. What and why can't we buy petrol again? And this has caused a very, very serious situation in almost every state of the Federation as we speak. Lagos, to be specific, is being paralyzed with the activity of people queuing long queues at the filling station has returned, and people are finding it really very difficult because the black market guys are back on the street and they are making it really, really, really difficult for Lagosians to go about.
But not just Lagosians, Nigerians in general.
About their businesses. Anyway, I don't know how it feels in Port Harcourt and Abuja and the like.
It's been long
I'm
queues
feeling
also.
the heat in Lagos. I could not even, come with a car to the office. So it's really very bad. Now, let's take some some stories. Before we go into, elections proper, we have a couple of issues that are making headline stories, and that's this fuel scarcity. Now, do you think it is actually panic buy or something is wrong somewhere?
Objectively.
Objectively, I'll give you an answer. And for me to give you an answer, I'll give you an answer from a corollary.
Okay.
When INEC was asked why aren't the PVCs distributed, they said you can't force somebody to come and pick his card. INEC said it's not distribution, it is collection. So INEC recognizes in their defense, evidence in chief, that no, I've done my bit, but the guy who is supposed to collect this PVC has not come to collect it. To take that as a corollary, the government says there is fuel at DPR to lift.
But people can't just get to buy.
But there is a logistic chain, and that logistic chain is totally not government-based.
Really?
No, it's not.
Okay.
The logistic chain of the independent marketers and all that is not a government responsibility. It is a social capital responsibility. People do it as a business to make an income. A while ago, people say at the point they reduced the price, it was not profitable for them. So when you talk about profitability, you are now talking about private business. You cannot be talking about altruism.
But the reason why these independent marketers are complaining, or the reason why they're not importing and distributing fuel, is because when the government reduced the initial price from 97 naira to 87 naira, they were not consulted. Now, they already imported fuel at a huge loss. Now, they are saying one of the things they clamored for, and they told the government as at then, which up to now was not done, and which is one of the reasons why we're experiencing fuel scarcity, is because they clamored that the difference between the 97 naira and 87 naira as at then should be paid back to them all up to now, which, based on the agitation, has not been done. So don't you see that as a default of functionality on the part of the government?
I think Sir Terence has an answer to that question.
In fact, Ishioma, thank you. You've made my day.
Oh, really?
Because you just answered it to Nigerians. You are saying,
but then the government paid them money.
You are saying a profit-oriented person is not sacrificing to the nation. When Nigeria is going through a difficult time, for somebody that have had a record of 5 years. Wait. Let me get my point. Somebody whose record is 5 years of uninterrupted seeing you through. There was no single fuel scarcity for 5 years.
Okay.
And in the month of the election, that is the month you want to put a gun to his head.
I want to understand. Excuse me. Are you making it look like this scarcity is political?
Oh, definitely it is.
Oh, really?
Oh, definitely it is. There are challenges. Wait, I'm coming. Let me get to a point.
Who are they? Are they the APC?
Let me get a point. Let me get a point.
Are they the APC?
There is nobody about APC, PDP, or anything. It's not about that.
The papers yesterday said opposition.
I'm getting to the point, please. I'm getting to the point. There are questions about half empty, half full. And those questions, we cannot take them as an absolute. You said, when you were speaking, say one of the causes, which means you alluded that there could be many more.
Of course.
Oh, of course. Therefore, I can't at this point say it's APC or PDP or... That's not the issue. The issue is, let us trace the initiative. Somebody has been with you for 5 years and has not failed you for 5 years. And then in a week, that is going to be the election week. And you already have mechanisms of resolution of anything that challenges you. It's been done many times over. There have been a time when they were owned for months for subsidy payment. Before the subsidy payment variation. All of us witnessed the hiccups when the subsidy was removed 2 years ago. So at that point...
But then they made, even the same independent marketers, they made huge profits from it.
No. So they made good profit from it. They made good profit from it.
Together with the government. Are you saying the government did not make any profit?
I'm getting to a point. Government doesn't make profit. Really? Government is not in the business of making profit.
My issue is, who are these independent marketers? Because people are alleging and saying that the government or some persons in government today are still hide behind the cloak of independent marketers to do business also. So they are still making money from the people of Nigeria and still making money from government coffers.
No, but if that be the case, that's the story of another day. We are looking at a hiccup in our system.
No, Sir Terence.
And a hiccup in our system, sorry,
okay,
I need to bet this.
Okay.
And the hiccup in our system is a situation where, at a point, we would have to leave everything and come together as Nigerians.
Okay.
When Ebola hit home, it wasn't about APC or PDP.
Nobody was able to, you know, to.
It wasn't.
We saw how some people took the bulls by the horns, stronger than other people.
Wait, I'm getting to a point. It worked like an orchestra. How did Ebola come to Nigeria? Ebola came to Nigeria by somebody crossing our borders.
Our porous borders.
Our porous borders, okay. Now, did any other person come in after that, after the alarm was raised? No. But wait, now I'm getting to a point. I'm getting to a point.
This point?
Yes. But somebody in Lagos had to leave Lagos to infect somebody in Port Harcourt, which means the internal reticulation was not at par with the external reticulation. Externally, they weren't coming in, but internally, they were going out. So which means if we had acted as an orchestra, the federal government provided us the perimeter protection. The state government dealt with it at state level, and we recorded a success. When we come to these kinds of watershed, that's the kind of mentality we need to exhibit. It's not about me proving a point or you proving a point. There has been a drop in oil prices. There has been a drop in our exchange rate. There has been a drop in the mechanisms of calculating your profitability. It's going to cut across everybody. However, some jobs, even though are profitable, are also social responsibility jobs.
On their own part.
On everybody's part.
Okay, now, Sir Terence, let's put this in perspective. Now, it's so very easy because we are in the elections time.
Yes.
To begin to see politics in virtually everything that we do.
Totally.
I mean, I will not even be surprised if a husband and a wife today are beginning to see politics in some of their decisions and all of that. Now, I mean, but the point here is that if PDP is coming out very strongly to accuse, you know, APC of complicity and that they probably are getting engaged, you know, with the marketers and trying to infiltrate, you know, the opportunity that they have to do legitimate business. I mean, putting in mind the costing and the profitability and all of that. The challenge that I have is that how come? Is it because, I mean, it's elections time? That we are beginning to see, what if the problem we have today is legitimate? That it does not have any political undertone. It is just, you know, a misunderstanding from up there to the medium and then to the base, that something is just not done well. Okay. Maybe government just didn't pay the money they're supposed to pay. Maybe a policy is just not working in favor of the marketers. Okay. Why are we seeing politics in virtually everything?
Let me explain to you.
Anyway, you will hold on your thought. Okay. We'll go on a short break now, and then when we'll come back, we will, I mean, talk more on the scarcity, because, I mean, for me, it is a very, very prevailing situation, and Nigerians want solution immediately. We'll go now, and then when we come back, we'll take this conversation to another level. We'll be right back. right, we are back. This is still Crossfire. And don't forget, we are addressing the state of the nation. And predominantly, we've been talking about scarcity of the fuel because we've seen long queues return back to our filling stations, causing traffic almost everywhere in Lagos and all over the nation. Now, the issue is the scarcity. Is it political based? Does it have anything to do with the big fight between the incumbent government and the opposition party? I mean, Mr. Fani Kayode or Barrister Fani Kayode came out very strongly to say that this has something to do with the opposition party. He said, don't you know the relationship between one of the major, financier of the, oil marketers, who happens to be a very big stalwart in APC? And I was asking you this question. Why must we see politics as part of everything that is happening as we speak?
Is it a good thing or not?
Why?
Can we divorce ourselves from politics? Can we sincerely? I was once with a Supreme Court.
Some issues
I was
isolated,
once with a Supreme Court judge. God rest his soul, and he told me there is nothing like an unbiased judge, but there is something like an incorruptible judge.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Bias is a totally different thing. And bias is not legal or illegal. Bias is simply
It's just your opinion.
bias.
Yeah.
So in a situation where I am supposed to pay you 5 naira, and you know that this 5 naira may not come today, may come on Monday next week, you are well entitled within your rights to say, business is business, you didn't pay me, I won't serve you. On the other hand, you're also well within your rights to also say, I'll give you the benefit of doubt, but please, this thing is paining me. It depends on how you play it. It's all about what's your bias. But yet, he's still acting within the ambit of the law. But when we look at it, let me ask you a question. Who will be the beneficiary of a fuel hiccup in Nigeria in an election time? Who will be the natural beneficiary?
I think the party who have a tendency of winning. And I think
No, I asked you a question.
Yes,
I asked you a question.
I think I agree
asked
with
you a
him.
question.
And let me balance it.
Who will be the beneficiary?
Let me
The party
balance
that
it.
has a tendency to win.
To win.
The party-
And let me say,
So,
and the party who
that's
have the
up to
tendency to
you.
win. And truly, from what we are seeing in the corridor of politics, both, the opposition party and the incumbent party, both of them believe that they will win.
No, that's not the point.
No, but that's the point. APC believe they are winning the elections.
That's not the point.
PDP believe that they are returning.
No, PDP doesn't believe. PDP knows that they are going to win.
Oh, okay.
please.
But APC
indirectly-
knows that they are going to win.
No, they think they will
Sir,
win.
wait,
They think.
wait.
PDP
Mr.
knows they will win.
Terrence,
There are two different
I
things.
don't think APC will just want to create hiccups to narrow
But when we started
jeopardize their
discussion,
chances of
but when we
winning.
started this discussion, the first thing you said was that the person who was supposed to make fuel not to be here is the government. And somebody is challenging the government. So if somebody were to show that the government is incompetent,
But if
it will
he-
act in his
Yeah,
favor.
but listen,
At
sir,
least
sir.
concede that. At least
I agree
concede
with that.
that.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Therefore,
I agree
it
with
is
that.
not a stretch of imagination to understand that if they have, within the ambits of the law, I'm
Yes.
not saying they're illegal,
Yes.
but within the ambits of the law, to act in a way to inflict pains on Nigeria in order to score electoral value,
But
they
what-
will
what-
not hesitate.
No, but what
if you
if-
say they will hesitate, why have they not dialed back from some of the threats that they've thrown in the public space?
But Mr.
you
Terrence-
There will be a parallel government. Dogs and baboons will be soaked with
My
blood.
issue is...
I really want to know. I really want to know. Why would
If those statements
Are you
are
saying
true,
they are
why,
not
why,
true?
No, if they are true...
Are you saying they are
why,
not true?
Why hasn't the PDP leveled a grave petition before the International Court of Justice against the persons who made the statement?
Did you think?
Why?
Did you think?
Why?
No. The job of securing Nigeria is not also PDP. Ishioma, you too, you're a barrister.
Of course I am.
If you're a barrister, I'm getting to a point. I'm getting to a point. I'm getting to a point.
Sir, but you should
I'm
also
getting to-
understand
I'm
that the
getting to a
government
point.
of the day, they are charged with the responsibilities, particularly the oath of office, which was sworn by the office of the presidency to do what? To secure the lives of Nigerians living within the territory of Nigeria. Now, if another individual comes out to make such statements should be taken as treasonable. So if it is true that they made those statements, my issue is why are they still moving around freely? Why haven't they been charged to court if it is true?
So
it can be taken
you've
that
cut my job. You've cut my job out for me.
It can be taken that if they have not been tried or no petition, then it's not true.
So you can also be taken it can also be taken that the moment we establish that they are true, then they are treasonable felons.
If
You've
within
cut my job for me.
if within the ambit of the
no
law,
problems.
no
problems. No problems. It's not going to be proven.
proven.
Because what you just said a while ago,
do you know what the Evidence Act says? He who alleges must prove.
Okay.
So why is if it's true, then why is the PDP still folding their arms and
Let me play the
sitting?
devil's advocate here.
please.
Now, and
you look
this
like
is,
one.
No, I am not. I'm not. I'm just now. This is a situation. Yes. 10 naira was deducted from the pump price from 97 to 87 naira,
Which you benefited from.
which all Nigerians are benefiting from.
Actually,
Thank you.
not
Go
true.
ahead.
Not true. Not true.
Now,
Okay, the money that people that make the money.
Not true.
Yes.
What if, in the bid for PDP to be able to sell
themselves to the people.
more to us or to the people, so that people will see that, okay, there are problems and we are solving it, there are
sympathize with
problems
them.
and we are solving it, and they are creating all these hiccups or bottlenecks so that they can look like beautiful and acceptable to Nigerians. So they create these bottlenecks and these hiccups, and then they will solve the problem in favor of Nigerians.
Of course.
As we approach the elections, you begin to see that these guys, they are really working.
But then,
Oh, beautiful. Because what you're trying to do is you are trying to preempt the fact that when we solve this problem, which we will, when we solve this problem, you are trying to say
You
that
could have been the one who created
you are
it.
saying,
But what if-
I
what
love
if
this.
it's
What
a
you're
problem
saying,
you created?
no, what you're trying to say
Yes,
right
yes,
now is
yes.
that you are also trying to rob the man of governance. So either way, you've already made up your mind how to tar him. He does it right.
No.
He does it right. No, that's it.
Certainly
He does
no.
it right.
No,
You
that's
suddenly
not what
say
it
he
is.
created the problem.
Why?
He doesn't do
Why?
it
Why
right.
is
You
he
say
taking this
he's
route?
incompetent.
See, if
I don't understand.
If I want to show,
If the
for
problem
instance,
was
if I want to
caused-
show, if a guy wants to show his girlfriend that is committed, he can create a scenario that a lady is chasing him and that he has been vehemently saying no to her. And eventually, the girlfriend is going to believe that, yeah, this guy is committed to me, this
Of
guy loves
course.
me. So he created the problem because he knows that he can solve it. The solution is with him.
in his own favor.
In it, you know?
So what if this problem right now of this fuel
Okay, let's
scarcity is
speak one.
being caused by the PDP?
Let us solve the problem.
And
Let us
the allegation that is being leveled on the opposition to make them seem like the devils. But the problem is being caused by the PDP. Under that stance now, what do you have to say?
Can I speak now?
Okay.
Are you done?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
now.
Okay, you're done for now. Fine. First and foremost, thank you very much, both of you. You are dispassionate Nigerians. You've proven to Nigerians that the 5 years that the PDP has made fuel available to us is not a fluke. You've
At
just
high
no,
cost?
no.
We bought
no,
it very
At
expensive, but at least it's
expensive
available.
The
cost.
bottom line is
It's
were
available.
Some people
even
could not
buying
still
it at
afford it
140
then.
something.
It
It was brought down to you. So you have had a government that provides fuel to you and
very expensive
progressively
costs.
reduces the costs. That's
Which
the
people are not-
progressively-
people- nobody's buying at
progressively
87
reduces
naira now.
at cost.
Okay.
Let me
Mr.
get a point.
Terry.
Let me get a point.
Make
An
your point. Make
illegality.
your
I used to buy
It's
that
your
at
ma- it's your ma-
20.
it's your ma-
Make
an
your point.
illegality. An illegality is not a policy.
Okay.
If fuel is 87 naira and the Nigerian chooses to go into a filling station and buy times 2, that's his decision.
But what
He's
is
well.
but
He's
then
well.
it is the job of the Petroleum Price Regulatory Commission to make sure that there's stable prices.
But you are the
So
person.
why-
You are
and
the
that
person
is a
who said a
function.
while ago. If
But that's under the
as a lawyer,
NNPC.
as a lawyer, you cannot
Can we-
appropriate.
Did they
Can
fail?
we
cannot
come down here? Let's hear
appropriate.
ourselves,
Did
please.
they fail
Yes.
in their
Let's hear
jobs?
ourselves, please.
Did
Let's
they fail?
let's hear ourselves, please.
Isioma, you cannot approbate and reprobate. On one hand, Isioma, you said that if you are the person who is causing this problem, that means because you know you can solve it. Yeah? But you are trying to do it to level an advantage. I said, based on that, if it stands to reason that you've just acceded that that person has been competent. Because the allegation was,
competent.
yes, the allegation was that the
Creating a
policies
problem.
of the PDP has failed and is being shown to fall that those policies are failing. So for that person to have had the ability to cancel something and yet the ability to solve it and look good, that means that person never failed. That's number one.
Even
number
while,
two.
even while
Number
making
two.
lives
Number
difficult,
two.
even while making lives difficult for the people.
Number two.
Which they should
number two.
protect.
Number two. First and foremost, we take things bit by bit. We establish our ground rules. The ground rule we've established right now is that the government is competent.
No.
Wait,
We haven't said that.
wait, I'm
Directly
getting
or
to a point.
indirectly,
I
we
get
haven't
now.
stated
Wait, let me
that.
finish. I'm getting to a point.
Competence,
What you're trying to say
is relative.
No, yes,
Yeah, it's a relative word. The
only
assessment
person
of government for me, the assessment of government for me, that will show that government is competent may be totally different from another person's
Fair enough.
opinion
Fair enough.
and view
Fair
or
enough.
perspective.
Fair enough.
Now, the challenge here is that, see, when you are talking about, a government who has performed, you need to examine or capture the opinion of the general
And
people.
then the greater
At
opinion.
this point we are speaking, you
Yes.
leveled a scenario. And I'm interrogating your scenario.
Okay.
Once we are done with the scenario, don't change the goalpost.
I'm not.
But
Your
we
scenario
think
was.
you're the
Your
one
scenario
changing- you're the one
was.
changing.
No, I didn't.
Give him room to talk,
Your
please.
scenario was that these people are competent, but they instigated this in order to look good.
Yes.
I said, if that is true, then that means you've agreed that they are competent. We cannot go back to accuse them of incompetence again.
No,
They have to.
When
They
we
have
find out,
to be
find out,
competent.
when
Wait,
facts.
wait, I'm coming.
Let
We're
me
getting
say,
it bit
when
by
new
bit.
facts- when new
facts come,
yes, exactly.
that means if new facts also come, then your position won't hold.
Yes, it may
You have-
change.
exactly.
It may change. If it's in favor, I will continue to.
I don't have a problem with it changing.
Okay.
Because President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, since 1999, has been PDP. The person challenging him has been multiple things. So when positions change, I expect it of him. When he says one thing and position changes, and he says another thing and position changes,
but
I accept it of him. I don't have a problem with that.
Even-
He was AMPP,
even at
then
the
became
end-
CPC,
Wait,
then became APC,
But
then he's
That's
now
what to do with
APA.
it.
No
Change-
problem.
Change is constant.
Oh,
change
change
is
is
a constant thing.
every
It's just
day.
like, I'm
Don't you
sure
change
you have
your
not lived
clothes?
in only one area
Don't
of
you
Lagos.
change your clothes
Since-
every day?
I do.
Of course.
I do.
So does that mean that you're not
I'm
quite sure?
flip-flopping.
No, does that mean that you do not have a stable mind to determine
Ishioma,
what
you
need?
just told me that the politics of Nigeria is like changing shirts. So
no,
Buhari
no,
changes
nobody
shirts the
said
same way
that. No,
he changes
no one.
vice presidents.
No one-
I
oh,
understand. It's okay. That's the way he is. He changes
but then
vice
the- but then the
presidents
issue
and
is-
platforms as he
but
changes
Mr.
shirts.
Terrence,
It makes sense.
Before we go
I
on a
think we
quick-
need to cool down
before
here.
we go on a
I think
quick
we
break,
need-
you
yeah,
need to
I think we
understand
need to
that
cool
this
down
should
here.
be about the people,
Ishioma.
about service and governance,
Okay.
not about confusion.
Okay, we'll go on a short break now, and then when we come back, we take this conversation to another level. It's getting really very interesting. We'll be
Crossfire.
right back. It will be too much. So I'm just creating scenarios.
How many more
that
minutes? I have to run away.
No,
We still have time, oh.
You still have
And I'm sure
time.
people are waiting to talk to you, to ask you questions.
the Aptly phone line is not safe. So.
When we come back now, I will not talk about, I'll just
Move on.
wrap up on fuel scarcity. We'll talk about something else.
Okay.
Let's talk about the election.
Mr. Terrence.
Okay. Let's talk about,
Anyway,
all right.
the handouts you put for me.
If you allow me.
me see.
Engineer.
Have you barrister Ishioma?
It's good. I'm an engineer. So address me as engineer. You've given me a new title.
You're an engineer.
They just gave me one.
Oh, okay.
The last time I checked,
He's
I
a
was a
barrister.
lawyer. And then some people gave me doctor. And now engineer.
My wife is a liar, lawyer.
right, we are back. This is still Crossfire. We've been discussing about the state of the nation, and we actually touched very, very deeply and intensely on the looming fuel scarcity all around the nation. Is it a PDP fault? Is it the opposition? These are questions in the mind of Nigerians, and answers seems to be very far away. But we have somebody in our midst, in the studio, who actually has been helping to throw more light on what this situation could really be or is, as it were, because a lot of people are thinking, why and why now? The elections are just a few days away, and then we have a situation in the country that is making people really get agitated. Now, Sir Terence, we have been talking about fuel scarcity, but we need to just quickly, wrap it up.
Okay.
Now, do you have an idea? Do you have any information when this scarcity may be over?
Frankly speaking, it's over.
It's over?
Yes, it's just for the effects of it being over to finally trickle down into the chain.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. It's over. It's a hiccup. It's been addressed.
When will it be solved?
It's been
It's
addressed
already.
So
solved.
now,
when
the
would...
mechanics, the mechanics of a
No, it's just like
pump.
traffic.
It's
when
like
it's already built.
Exactly.
It just waits
It's
for
already
some time.
built. It waits for it to dissipate.
So Nigerians should continue to endure in the
We
meantime.
believe that within this week it will peter out.
Oh, this week?
Wow, that's
It will-
far.
Or within today?
Within this week. It
Oh,
will
okay.
peter
But do you,
out.
sir, do you
Let me tell
understand?
you. Let me tell
If you say 1 week,
Let me
it will-
explain.
don't you think? If you say 1 week, don't you think?
I didn't say
this
1 week. I said
will-
within-
will
within
just
this week.
within.
Yes.
But do you know the longer this stays for, one, the more it can affect the credibility of your political party. 1, 2. The more hardship it will cause on Nigerians. Imagine people buying a liter of fuel for 215 naira. Now, understand that we do not have stable electricity. In fact, we can say we have less than 10% electricity in the country. Now, the average family or company, they have to fuel them, power their own generators.
Ishioma, I understand that.
Look at the level of
Anyway,
hardship.
Let me give you
for
a
me,
last
you
word.
will have more votes. We have more votes. There's every possibility that you have more votes. If we resolve this issue, and maybe the week of the election, we have a reduction, maybe to 65. Or
45,
67,
45,
or 57, or something, and then
naira.
everybody, through.
45
I don't know.
We hope you can take this suggestion.
That is above my pay grade.
Let's
You
move
can
on
take a
here.
suggestion back home.
Let's move on here. All right. Just a quick reminder that you can be a part of this show. You can just pick up your phone and call us. You will see all our numbers on the screen, and you can just call into the show and let us know your thoughts, especially in the area of this fuel scarcity. I know this one concerns a lot of Nigerians. And then don't forget we have a toll-free number that you can use and call us in case you don't want to spend so much money reaching out to us. 08000-COOL-TV is what you should call, and then you can get through to us. And then our social media details are also on the screen. You can tweet us. If you follow us, we'll follow you. If you don't follow us, we may not be able to follow you. And you can be a part of this conversation.
But beautifully, we already have a call.
Exactly.
We have a caller.
I see. All right, let's take Odiaka. Odiaka, good morning. Good morning, Odiaka. Hello, Odiaka.
Yeah, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, my name is Odiaka Chiuni. I'm calling from Lagos.
Can you please speak up
See,
a little
I find
bit?
the argument of your guest that the cost of this fuel scarcity is politically
Hello, Odiaka.
very cheap.
We can't really hear you.
When are we going to stop making these flimsy excuses for the gross incompetence of this president and his government? What is politically motivated when the government cannot put his house together and do things right? In the first place, if we have refineries, are we supposed to be importing fuel? And if people have imported fuel, can't you pay them their money? I find it very absurd and repugnant when people come here to say that people are putting their interests above national interests. If somebody has worked for you, can't you pay him or her? If the president and his ruling party is doing the right thing and not putting their selfish and corrupt interests above national interests, we will be having this problem. You see, my brother, I am from the eastern part of the country, precisely from Delta State, but I am tired and sick of my people coming here to defend the incompetence of this president and his administration. This is a government from outset that when he came into office, has never been known to do anything right and tell the truth. You see, let me tell you, you are guys there, whether they like it or not, this country needs to move away from the quagmire this president and his party has put this country into, and we need a change. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Odiaka.
Thank you.
Thank you, Odiaka. Okay, let's take this call so that
Francis.
you can. All right, Francis. Good morning. Hello, Francis.
Hello.
Hello, Francis. Are you there? All right.
You know,
you heard Odiaka.
Yes, the price of leadership.
Very
the price of
angry
leadership.
with the government.
The price
he
of
said some
leadership.
things.
The price of leadership is to bear wrongs patiently. I'm from the East. Before 2011, nobody in the East bought fuel at the pump price. This is the very first time any Easterner, go and do your independent survey, is buying petrol at the same price you're buying it in Lagos.
I disagree with you. Do you know why?
Why?
I had my NYC in the eastern part of Nigeria, and I still recall how much I was buying it as a
You were buying fuel.
I have never bought fuel at the pump price before in the East.
Never.
But even,
I lived in the boys.
I lived in Enugu State. I'm from Imo State.
But
Wait,
the
let
truth
me
is,
tell you.
even right now,
were-
Nigerians will tell you nobody is still buying, no filling station. Do you people do your research?
No,
do you people
you see-
move
you
around
see-
to find
you
that
see-
even right now nobody is buying
Let
fuel
him
for
answer Odiaka's
7 naira.
question. Let him respond to Odiaka.
Let me explain
Nobody
something.
is buying
Let me
it.
explain something to you. I don't.
Make your comment short so that we can.
The point is,
We can move on to
the
other
point is,
areas.
let's not have amnesia.
Okay.
Let's have factual discourse. At a point, fuel was 147. It became 97. After a few years, it became 87. People will resist it because these are people that have sold at 147.
No, but the issue is,
I'm
are
coming.
people
wait,
buying
Wait,
are,
now let
are
me.
Nigerians buying
if you
it
keep
at
interrupting me,
Can
if
you
keep
let him land on
interrupting
his
me, I can't
point,
make the
please?
point.
Okay.
If the fuel starts going down, at the point that the exchange rate is also down, naturally the person will look at his margins and feel upset. So there would also be a mechanism for him to try to resist that transition. This is a transition phase. When was the fuel announced at 87? What day are we in?
But all of these are politically driven.
No,
That is the problem Nigerians seems to be having.
the point I am also trying to bench this so we move on.
So it
When you
simply
talk
means
about-
things can get worse if he gets back into power.
Okay, I will also say something else.
You know, because this is a bid.
I will also say
this is a bid.
I will also
to
I will
rob,
also
to,
no, I
to
will
rob
also
a man and give all of us chill pills.
will
and then we follow again.
I like
Don't
the
forget
fact
that
that you
emotionally,
I will also-
we followed in 2011.
I would also say
that time he had no shoes.
I will also say something else that is amazing because I like the pun you just intended now. I will also say something that is amazing. He's giving you a chill pill. In any case, at least you have somebody that you are judging based on what he has seemed to do.
Okay.
And he is being challenged by somebody who says, forget what I have done. I'm a changed man. What's empirical about that?
Sir, do you buy
Wait, I'm
fuel?
getting to a point. I do.
Do you buy
What's
fuel?
I do. What's empirical about that?
Okay.
You're telling me, support me, I've changed. I also say, let me judge you by the things you've done before.
Well, from
A lot of
97
Nigerians
to 87 naira,
also
it was
score him right.
economic that drove that. It was not a government decision.
So it was economics.
The world oil price dropped.
So it was economics.
It was economic.
So
yeah.
the government is responding to economics.
I mean,
So
if
that,
you
means,
say so, yeah.
so that means they're competent in responding to
No,
economics.
or you think they're failing?
And you can't just continue saying no. You have to also have a point of saying,
Okay, I mean,
well done.
That makes sense.
You have to
To
have
you.
a point. You have to have a point
But
when
then,
you.
but then
You know,
should
you have to have a
understand
point
that
when you
the
should be able to say,
success-
well
the
done.
success or failure of any government policy should be based on the impact it has on the people of Nigeria. And now the people of Nigeria are saying right now that this government has failed because we are the bench suffering these
There is
negative
also the
policies.
people of
But then we
Nigeria.
have
There is
a
also
call.
the people of Nigerians
We
who are
have
saying
another
that this
call.
is the best they've had.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning, Enejo. Hello, Enejo.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
All right, talk to us. Enejo, are you there? Now let's take a drift. I mean, let's talk about something else because of our time. I mean, our time is well spent. Now, elections are around the corner. Yes. There was postponement of elections. I mean, what's your take on the 6 weeks? Legitimate? Yes. Premeditated?
Nope. Legitimate.
Ah, okay.
The reality on the ground is according to INEC published figures. if they were to have had election on the 14th of February.
Don't hinge it only on INEC.
I'm getting to my
point.
point.
What prompted it in the first place?
Let me get to my point.
Okay.
If they had had the election on 14th of February, 65% of Nigerians who have registered will vote. If they have it today, 82% will vote. That's INEC figures.
Yeah.
That means an extra 17% have gotten their PVCs.
Okay.
In case you are not understanding, 17% of 65 million means 10 million extra votes.
Let's take this call.
Understand that
Good
a lot of
morning,
people
Maru.
would not vote on the election.
It doesn't matter. Good morning, Maru.
Good morning.
Hello, Maru, are you there? Hello? All right.
An election where you are trying to have shielded 10 million people from voting. The difference between the 2011 result margin was 11 million.
Was this strictly INEC's problem?
No, but INEC have already said that they took
No,
their
was it
decision.
strictly? The issue about the PVCs
collection
especially. Don't forget that when he went to the Senate, he told the Senate that they still had, about 1 million PVCs that have not been printed. And it's supposed to be captured within, printed, received, and distributed before the 8th of March. In a few days' time, collection is going to stop.
In fact,
except there's an extension, a new extension.
In fact, you've also hit the nail on the head. You are conducting an election, and on the week of the election, you say you've not even printed 1 million cards. And if you look at that 1 million cards, I want to tell you something funny. It's not 1 million divided across Nigerians.
Is it 1 million nucleated to a particular state?
That is actually the point I'm trying for you to make. Let him just give us the figures of the 1 million that was not printed.
So in other words, you're saying the postponement was in favor of Mr. President?
No, the postponement was in favor of Nigerians to vote.
You're trying to limit it to a particular demographic. Understand also that the president is from the southern part of Nigeria.
Listen to my point. When 1 million votes have not yet been printed, I asked a question. I said, let's not look at it as a demographic, as though 1 million spread across Nigerians haven't been printed. Yeah. I want us to interrogate, who are the 1 million that has not been printed? That's the question INEC should be telling people.
Can I ask you?
Wait, I'm getting to the point. Because they're telling us which 1 million has not been printed. And we begin to get the picture. Because remember, back to it, they've already printed and 90% of votes in these areas have been collected. So if 90% of the votes in those areas have been collected, discount 10% in the 1 million, that's only 100,000.
Yes.
The bulk of the 900,000 has to be where it has not been collected. Okay. It's common sense.
Okay, so 6 weeks is a blessing.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And I believe Jega is a man of honor.
Oh.
Because nobody...
Do you agree or you have any contrary opinion?
My brother,
no, my sister,
let me finish. I judge people with what they put forward.
Okay, so you're saying he's a man of honor and integrity.
Yes, listen, I don't judge people on my sentiments.
So in other words, you're trying to say he should not be removed, he shouldn't be sent on terminal leave.
He's not saying that.
No,
I'm also saying something. Honor should also make him know if the law says I should proceed on a leave at a particular time. Okay. Honor should make him leave.
Do you understand that what the provision of the Constitution says, that if there is any inconsistency with the provision of the Constitution and any other law, that other law, to the extent of the inconsistency, will be null and void, subject to the Constitution.
No, but Ishioma,
now, wait.
What is binding?
Bearing that in mind, Section 158 of the Constitution says Professor Atahiru Jega cannot be removed.
You're not hearing me.
Until
there's a two-thirds
majority seated at the Senate.
You're not hearing me.
And also Section 153 confers immunity.
But the civil service law, is binding on him.
Is subject to the Constitution.
Listen to me, my dear. No, listen to me, my dear. Listen to me, my dear.
So let's follow the law.
You are not hearing me. First and foremost, you are jumping the gun. No, listen.
Because these are some of the clamors from some certain people.
Everybody must have a clamor.
Okay.
But has the president acted?
So
why are you prejudging the president? It's unfair. You are basically just showing an innate bias. Has he done it?
But we have